the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running.
So you guys know that I like to bring you mediocre entertainment on the weekends. That's when I do most of my filming, because it's when I work, you know, on my own projects the most. But it's been doing this since late last night, and it's not supposed to stop all day. So just doing a Sunday check-in. Who knows when I'll get to start another video. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. And we have got her done. Well, not done. I started drilling here. We had to cut the port out. Problem we just ran into, I found an old fry under the seat. Problem we just hit is, well, our flush trim bit ain't long enough. So we're gonna have to get a longer flush trim bit. It's no issue really, but it is an issue. It is, but it isn't. But I have turned it on. It plays. I didn't turn it up by no means because it's in way too much airspace. I mounted him a RCA base knob. We wound up ditching the whole concept of the telephone cord style base knobs. We got an LC one here for his mids and highs, which he wanted. And we got an actual base knob here with the voltmeter in it, which is good. I got all that wired up and mounted. They do work. So yeah, we're about done with this. I mean, I'm just happy that it's playing. It's gonna need a lot of vacuuming because there's a lot of fiberglass in here. Dustin did the port, and you can see how wide it is from here to here and how narrow. But we got her tuned like right at 32. So I'm eager to get this port cut and hear this thing. So check this out, guys. Yeah, have you ever cut yourself and you don't really have any insurance? Like that cut goes from way down in there across here all the way down to there. Probably a good 8 to 10 stitch cut, and that is all CA glue. Had to make a splint here so I wouldn't, you know, like try to close it and split it back open. But how long? I mean, I'm thinking 3 or 4 days probably leave this on here. I'm not really sure though. I mean, all I know is that I didn't have a medical bill, and I think my tattoo will be fine. But yeah, no medical bill for Jerry. Ain't that awesome? Thank you, Dustin, Duck Ain't Loud, for tending to my first aid needs there, buddy. Yeah. Have you ever done this? Leave a comment and let me know if you've ever had to do this. Well, the old truck's gone. Going to Westboro. I got it done. I didn't get to film a lot of it because, well, some things went wrong in there. I mean, Dustin come in and finished the top and bolted the top on and glued it on, but with the port and everything before over the weekend when I was not here, so I didn't really get to film that. Then we had an amp problem, so I had to tear everything back apart and redo it. And then the guy had to have the truck back yesterday, so I came in and worked on it. But that would have been Tuesday, yesterday. Today's Wednesday. But I did come in Monday, and I worked on it hot and heavy. I think that's where I started filming, but then this happened. So I'll roll a video footage of this. Gashed it bad. I gashed it drilling the lug out. And I knew better. I always hold them lugs in vice grips, but I'd already crimped the wire on it, and I'm like, shit, I need to drill it out. So I'm trying to hold the wire and drill it. And the drill bit caught and flung it around a bunch of times before I let off, and I didn't even realize I let off the drill, and I'm like, damn, you know, it sucks that the drill caught it, and I look down and I'm pouring blood out. Dustin hooked me up with 10 stitches, or it probably needed 10. It was a pretty bad cut. But he hooked it up with some super glue. And I worked yesterday with it like this. I went home last night, which I knew I heard it yesterday, but I took the bandage off and there was a lot of blood. And the CA glue had just come off and it was perfectly formed. So what I do, I didn't clean it or nothing. I just re-glued that bitch right then. Activator burns, guys. So if you CA glue yourself, and the reason I had to use activators, we were using thick CA glue. But it does, the activator will kind of burn. But anyway, it fixed it up. I ain't got no insurance, so you got to do what you got to do sometimes, guys. I was really hoping I'd have had more video footage for y'all than this, but I ain't got shit. I did decide on going with the CompuStar alarm. You know, a lot of you guys left good comments about that. And I got a buddy close to Myrtle Beach that's been an installer forever. And I know he does good work. And I met this dude like 10 years ago. And he was doing an install then. But his name's Boogie. Anyway, I hit Boogie up, and he definitely recommended the CompuStar also. I'm looking at like the CS 7900 AS. And I kept seeing that there's all kind of like blade and drone add-ons, but my Jeep's a 94, so it don't need none of that crap. And that's one of the things that I hit him up about, make sure that it didn't need all that. So hopefully I'll put that in and it won't constantly drain my battery. Like that cheap Easy Guard alarm from Amazon. I'd ran one of them before and it was all right. They do things that I hate though. Like there's no way to turn off that shit that when you start the car, pretty much as soon as you put your foot on the brake to put it in gear, it locks the doors. I hated that. Especially in my Jeep with me not having a way to unlock the door. Now, it was worse before because the new doors that I have on there, when I push my button to release the door from the inside, it automatically just unlock the door, how a lot of your newer cars do when you pull the door handle. But I don't like that. It took me forever to figure out how to turn off that auto rearming. I hated that. Like, you know, you stop somewhere and you get out of the Jeep or your car to like bullshit with your homeboy for 3 minutes or whatever. And if the key's turned off, it automatically locked the damn doors after like 30 seconds or some shit. I don't like that. Because if you leave your key in there to shut the ignition off, it's going to lock your keys in the car. So hopefully with the CompuStar, it'll be better ways to do your settings, you know. Like if it does that shit automatically, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier to turn it off. But anyway, that's kind of what I've decided to do. The Blazer, we still have the Blazer for sale, guys, if you're interested in that. If not, I'm going to start doing more stuff to it. And I'd rather just get rid of that thing and build something new. But if not, I'm going to have to start, because I can't just sit idle and do nothing. But anyway, that's kind of all I got for you guys. But yeah, and if you're wondering why I got, dude, this is a piece of paint stick that we cut out of this. That's to keep me from bending the finger at that knuckle where it's cut. Hey, you got to do what you got to do when you ain't got no insurance. And I'm sure there's going to be a few of you guys in the comments that have done this same exact bullshit. I'm talking medical-wise, you know. CA glue, some electrical tape, and paper towel. Works great. But, and there's going to be some of you guys like, why didn't you just go to the hospital? No insurance, dog. I mean, if the CA glue fixes it, there's no need to go to the hospital, right? And Dustin didn't give a shit about a little blood and, you know, like, there was quite a bit of blood. Dustin didn't give a shit. We were dabbing it in CA glue. But anyway, other than that, we did get that black Dodge done. That guy took it home last night. We only needed a 3/4 of an inch seat lift in there for that big ass box. And it sounded good. Them 8s are super tight. Like if you try to push on it, they don't want to move at all. You'd think it's a blown sub if you didn't know better, but we was hitting them with some power, and it's going to take a long time to break them in. But anyway, I want y'all's opinion. Who's watching Carlos Rodriguez all of his lives on this single sub testing? Oh, that's cool. I knew you were going to be watching. But, yeah, I'm digging this shit, guys. Like, I've been tuning in every night he's got that. I think it's some badass stuff. I just like watching it. And here recently, after watching a while, I'm not having high hopes for a lot of subs. It's like, he can put a sub in, and I'm like, yeah, it's going to do a 77, 78 max. And what I have realized is, one, I was impressed with the boss, but what I've realized is now I can just kind of look at the front of a sub and tell around about what it's going to do, because compression. Once they hit compression, like, he's got so much power and his chambers are so airtight that it's going to take a special cone and surround not to burst, is what I've kind of gathered from watching this. You know, up into that, like, 77 point, it's easy selling, but, like, at the 77, you're either going to blow the dust cap, which happened with the Audio Ace, or the surround. So, I've kind of, yeah, I learned that from watching the DDs, but, oh, burp. How crazy is it that the Sound Cubed, which was DD's cheap line back in the day, well, like, till last year when Sky High bought it, but how crazy was it that that cheap Sound Cube sub outperformed the DD? I thought that was kind of hilarious. I mean, not that I hate on DD. I've always wanted to run DD at some point, you know. That was the subs I wanted when I was younger. But I just thought it was crazy that their cheap line of sub outperformed their high-end line. The Audio Ace, I was banking it was going to do a 78, and it was close, but I knew the compression was going to be an issue with it. And especially for it just being, you know, your off-of-the-shelf sub from China, I knew that it's more geared toward demos. Like, I knew it was a demo sub. I ain't saying there's anything bad about it, because most sub companies now, most are off-shelf Chinese made, yeah. But I knew it was geared more for demo, so I knew it wasn't gonna break an 80. But it's just wild watching all this. Actually learning quite a bit. It's like these subs are doing really, really good in this van up until they hit that compression moment. And that's where you got so much compression in that sealed chamber, it's hard for the sub to do anything. And then the cabin itself gets pressurized, and yeah. But anyway, that's all I had, guys. I ain't really got no content, none. I'll put the clip into this, but anyway, that's all I got, guys. So peace out and bass on.